Hello guys, so to make your life a little bit easier with programming, we decided to make these little snippet videos just to try in the beginning and see if it's actually useful for you in helping you programming and advancing with your programming skills at home. So I decided to just go ahead with the very first program because if you hit the ground running, you will do much better in this class. So I already pasted the definitions of what we need to do for this program up here. So we're going to go step by step through it because it gives us every information that we need to write this program. For instance, I have no idea what this program refers to. I am assuming that it's baseball. I've never seen baseball in my life. I have no idea how baseball is played or what these words are, but all the information that is there is enough for me to make this work. So we are asked to write a program that does the following things. It will prompt the user for how many innings the pitcher pitched and how many runs it gave up. It also tells us that these values need to be stored in int variables. So just from the very first phrase, we already know that we have two variables and we know that they will be stored in ints. My first instinct would be to assume that the variables would be innings and runs, but let's finish reading and see if that is true. We are then asked to calculate the pitcher's ERA using the following formula, which is ERA, it's equal to the number of runs times 9 divided by the number of innings. So it means that innings is not actually the name of one of the variables, but numInnings. So we have everything that we need. We can proceed for our header files. We need to include our preprocessor directive, which is going to be include. Oof. Yeah, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, but such is life. It's very hard to, it's actually really hard to code and talk. I keep messing up. We're also going to load the standard namespace because it makes it easier. And once this is done, we're going to open our main function. Ooh, two. And here we go. Once we have the main function open, we already know that we're going to have two variables at least, which is going to be int runs and numInnings. And we have another variable, which is ERA. A lot of people in the class just define the ERA as an int. I'm going to start with that and we'll see why it is incorrect. Let's go with this. ERA. Also, a lot of people were kind of bothered by the fact that we were using all caps for a variable. I think it's a matter of programming style to a certain extent. In this case, ERA, I think it stands for something else. So I guess that has an exception. It can be used as an all caps variable. So then we're going to head over to the prompts, which are going to be these guys. Sorry, I've recorded this so many times I already have saved. I'm sure that it's pretty clear what I've done here. There's no doubts there. We then are going to just use the formula that we already have up here on our top comment that defines what we are doing with our program. And one of the things, of course, we need a semicolon there. And we are then asked to display ERA on the screen. So we have basically another cout statement. Since I am working on Visual Studio, I'm going to have to add system pause. Otherwise, all the outputs are going to go so fast through the screen that I won't be able to show anything. And let's just put the return statement, clean this up a little bit. Yeah, the ERA can be closer since that statement belongs to it. Okay, all good. Let's save. Let's build. everything is fine. So we're going to use the numbers 2 and 3 because they are great. So 2 and 3, if you use 2 for the runs, actually if we use 2 for the innings and 3 for the runs, the real output should be 13.5. And let's see if that's what we get. So we're going to run. This is what we get. So let's use 2 for the innings and 3 for the runs. And the output that we get is 13, which is obviously incorrect. What's happening here is that since we are dividing integers, it is just truncating the decimal points that we should be getting. So let's change what ERA is supposed to be. This is a matter of personal choice. It could be a float or a double. A double has higher precision since it's 8 bits, while a float is only 4, but this is a very tiny program. A float is more than enough for what we are doing here. There's no point of complicating things. Let's build again and see if this time we will get the correct and expected answer. Here we go. Let's do 2 and 3 and we get 13 again, because obviously even though the variable to which this expression is assigned to is a float, the numbers that we are using in the expression are not. So we are going to typecast this guy here. Let's just typecast runs and see if this works. Build solution. Let's run this guy. So 2, 3, and there we go. We finally get the correct result. So there are different ways to typecast variables, which are far more correct than the one that I am using here. One of them involves using static cast, in which you just insert in the brackets, whoops, mistake there, it should be this, yes. Here should be the new type of variable that you want to typecast it to, and yeah, here I go with a freaking parenthesis. And here it would be whatever expression that you want. In this case, in new type, we would have float, and this is static, what am I doing, static. So in new type, we should have float, and the expression in this case, it should be runs. This would be a more correct to do things. I would love if you guys could go just check why this would be a more correct way to do things, especially because this is 110B, so you are going to need this at some point in the course. And the other thing that I want you guys to think about is, why did I only typecast one of the variables using this expression? And I'm going to give you guys a clue. I think it's called type division. I think it's, yeah, type division rule. And just check these two guys out and just let me know what you learned from it. I think this is all for now, and I hope it helps you guys in some way.